BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.
You're listening to Tuesday's episode of The Archers from BBC Radio 4.
You should have heard him, sitting there in front of the mediator telling her how much progress I've made and how easy it's been organising Martha's time between us. And the minute I refuse to sit quietly in the corner, Chris has a meltdown.
Well, it must have come as a shock.
What? That I want to be central in my own daughter's life?
It's not like he was keeping you out, Alice. But saying you want to be primary carer for Martha...
He wanted to have the final say on all the big decisions in her life. I'm her mother.
Darling, I'm just saying you could have warned him that you wanted some kind of full custody or whatever, instead of stunning him with it in the middle of a mediation session.
No, you don't get it. He will always see me as unwell, recovering, always on the journey and never at the destination.
Darling, the mediation sessions have been going really well. You said so yourself. And if you want what's best for Martha, then surely that's the way to go. Better to keep things on an even keel.
Yeah, but it's not even, is it? The reason the sessions have gone well is because I kept stum. I bit my tongue. When we were arranging Christmas with Martha, I suggested they have her for Christmas morning.
Which was very good of you.
Yeah, because I knew how much Chris and his parents had already done for us. But it was her first Christmas, Dad. I agreed to anything because I'm constantly functioning under this awareness of the debt I owe them and how I've got to make up for messing up in the past.
Exactly. That's how you rebuild trust.
Yeah, but for how long? I'm not going to sit on the sidelines of my daughter's life waiting for Chris to accept I'm better. I am better, Dad.
Alice.
And I'm going to keep proving it every single day.
Thanks for fixing the toaster, Tony.
You could probably do with a new one. Right. You're all done.
Good. Come and have a seat.
Oh, cupcakes.
Would you like one? I had a rather restless night, so I made a batch.
Takes me back to our little picnics in the garden when we were kids.
When you were very small, Jennifer and Lillian would pinch them and try and blame it on you.
Who needs older sisters, eh? Anyway, there was something you wanted to speak to me about?
Yes, there is. And I'd rather it was face-to-face, so thanks for coming over.
Sounds ominous.
Rex and Kirsty want me to ask you if you consider being a farming consultant. A farming expert for the rewilding project.
They want me?
Ah, Neil.
Brian, I got your text.
Thanks for waiting for me.
Oh, it's okay, only I need to nip over and see Alan in a moment.
Of course, I won't keep you
I'm
long.
helping with Harrison's baptism on Thursday, so...
Great. How's Chris?
Not good.
I take it you've heard what happened at yesterday's mediation session?
Yes. Me and Susan were up half the night trying to calm him down.
Well, I can imagine it must have been quite a surprise.
Oh, let me stop you there, Brian. It wasn't a surprise. It was a shock. He is worried sick.
I believe Kirsty and Rex will do a tremendous job. They work well together, but they don't have real farming know-how. So who better to fill that role than you?
Ah, so it was your idea.
What if it was? I believe you're the best candidate.
It's okay, Mum. You don't have to butter me up because others have refused.
I'm doing no such thing.
Brian too busy, was he? Or David? Even Adam would be an option, wouldn't he?
Tony.
Of course, if the others haven't taken it up, it does beg the question as to why I should.
The others haven't taken it up because they weren't asked.
Oh, so it's particularly suited to me, is it?
I suggested you, Tony, and they heartily agreed. We all felt you could really benefit the project. Not that you seem pleased to be asked. So you can put that second cupcake down for a start.
Sorry, Mum. I was only teasing.
You weren't. But I'll accept the apology, and you can have more cake if you accept the role.
It's like that, is it?
You know, Tony, rewilding is really my legacy to Ambridge. And it would be wonderful to know you're playing a part in that.
Yeah, well,
I thought of you because you've made your whole life Bridge Farm, Tony. And despite the challenges along the way, it's a huge success.
I must admit I haven't visited the rewilding site for a long time, and even then, not properly.
Well, you should. I believe you'd enjoy it.
OK, then, I will.
Your instinct has been right more times than not, Tony. You were ahead of the curve when Bridge Farm went organic, and you've made it a great success. That's something to be proud of. Bridge Farm sustains you, Pat, your children and grandchildren. There aren't many who can say that today.
Thanks, Mum.
And if you could work some of that magic with rewilding whenever they need a steer in the right direction. Now, why don't you visit the rewilding site later today? Speak to Kirsty and Rex. See what you make of it.
All right, you're on.
All I'm saying is if you could try and help him see things from Alice's perspective.
Why should he?
Because it was probably no more shocking than Alice hearing that all major decisions in Martha's life had to be taken by Chris, and Chris alone.
Oh, I don't think he said that.
Well, that's what Alice thinks he said.
Brian, this whole time, Alice has had Christopher thinking things have been working just fine, where Martha's concerned, only to suddenly announce she's contesting custody.
Look, Neil, let's let them both cool down. I honestly believe neither meant to say some of the things they did.
And then all this trouble brewing here at Barrow doesn't help.
No, except we can do something about Barrow, Neil. We can at least try. Perhaps we ought to let our children sort out their dispute and you and me concentrate on what we can do here.
I won't disagree with you on that.
But rest assured, I think Alice panicked when she felt she was being shut out of Martha's life. If we leave them alone for now, I'm confident that through the mediation, they'll both be able to sort things out.
And then we're back round to the Longhorns.
Impressive, aren't they? I'm sorry I haven't come to take a proper look round the place sooner.
Oh, don't be. You're here now. And if you've any questions I can't answer, Rex will be back in about half an hour.
Oh, no, you've done a great job, thanks, Kirsty. I wouldn't have guessed this is your first full week.
To be honest, I'd come and spend time here whenever I could while Phoebe was at the helm. I love it out here. If anyone had told me she'd be in the Scottish Highlands and I'd be running this place with Rex, I wouldn't have believed them.
Sometimes the right people find the right place for themselves.
Which is why we'd be chuffed to bits if you agreed to take on the role of farming advisor.
Oh, Mum's done her work on you too, has she?
What?
Oh, nothing. It's just she was very complimentary this morning, buttering me up.
Well, it was Peggy's idea to talk to you, and the minute she said she thought you'd be the best person to approach, Rex and I jumped at the chance.
She said that, did she?
Yeah, only we didn't know if you'd consider it.
Well, I have taken a back seat at the farm now I'm more or less retired, but there's always plenty to do.
Oh, we'd be lucky to have your time, Tony. Everything you've achieved at the farm. You should have heard Peggy. She's so proud of you, and she has good reason to be. Anyway, I should leave you to have a think. Have a wander.
Yeah, well, thanks, Kirsty. It really is a good setup you've got here.
I'll be in the office if you need me.
Righto.
All right, Hilda, I'll get you some food in a minute.
Hello, Mum. I was just thinking of you.
Well?
Actually, I'd love to be a part of rewilding. Thank you for thinking of me.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. What they're working to achieve here is really promising, and it's quite exciting to think about a project that's not at the farm.
I think it'll be wonderful for you, and you for it.
But you know I'm not coming on board simply to be a yes man. Rex and Kirsty and I may not always agree, but I will be speaking my mind, for the benefit of the project, of course.
Kirsty and Rex wouldn't expect anything else.
Do you know, I think I might enjoy this. But of course, you already knew that, didn't you?
You're your own person, Tony. You always have been. My father used to say, that first whisper you hear in your heart, that's the soul speaking. And if you can be true to that voice, you'll always steer a good course. I've always felt you were able to hear that first whisper and hold on to it. That's one of the things I love most about you.
Oh, Mum.
And why I know you'll enjoy this.
You got your way in the end. Anyway, I better go and tell Kirsty.
You've done what?
Booked an appointment with my solicitor, okay? Roisin, you'd like her. She's feisty.
Alice, shouldn't you just stop? Take some time and think this through.
Dad, if I want Martha to live with me, I'll need a solicitor on my side fighting for me. Chris isn't just going to hand her over, is he?
Isn't all this rather hasty?
Sooner the better, more like.
Well, I'm not sure he's going to react well if he finds out you're seeking
Well,
legal...
I'm sorry, Dad. Hurting Chris isn't my intention. But that's kind of what happens when people split up. I'm not going to let Chris's feelings get in the way of me and Martha.
Darling, mediation is so much better than running to a solicitor each time there's an issue between you two. It'll cost an arm and a leg for starters.
Well, it's worth it.
Well, surely you can see why Chris is doing this. Alcoholism isn't like a broken leg that's fixed as soon as the plaster comes off.
Really?
It's more delicate than that. I'd be lying if I said your mother and I don't sometimes feel that a setback might send you straight back to...
The bottle? Oh. I understand. And you do that because you care about me. Because you're my parents.
Yes, darling.
And I'm Martha's. I've only got one shot at this, Dad. I want to do it right.
Courts mean sides, Alice, and sides mean that his solicitor will end up dragging your every mistake out into the open, showing it in the worst light possible. You and Chris have come so far. Do you really want that?
The only thing I really want, Dad, is Martha.